Alright, so boom, welcome back to another installment of edutainment. Now, as you are overcoming your addiction to alcohol, weed, pornography, stuff like that, it is important to replace these activities or these habits with other habits, or should I say, money making or money saving habits. So these are some frugal life hacks that will help you to save some money and use that money to now pay off some debt, build your emergency fund of $1,000 in your savings account, or if you're at the point where you can start investing into stocks and all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So no long talk, we'll get straight into the video. Real frugal living tips that work and can save you money, moolah, guap, dollars, pounds,
Throw up, baby, in the bank, you know I ain't tryna blow that, baby. We gon' say that much.
euro, currency, all the above. So no long talk, I'm getting into it. Shout out to TruFinancials. I'm trying to increase your financial muscles and keep you motivated as you're watching these videos, and hopefully you're entertained too. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? But no long talk.
Today we're going to be talking about some ultimate frugal tips and hacks to potentially help you save a ton of money. Now, this is actually a list that I compiled myself of things that I do on a regular basis to help me save more money. Now, I actually also asked my wife for some tips as well too that maybe I don't even notice that I do on my own, and she actually gave me a couple, and I think they're going to be very valuable for you guys, so make sure you stick around to hear everything on this list. Hey fellow wealth builders, Dennis here with the TruFinancials channel, where we love helping you build your wealth and becoming more financially free. If you're new here, make sure you have that red subscribe icon, hit down below, and then also the bell to get notifications when new videos come up. But as I mentioned, this is a full list of things that I personally do when it comes to being frugal. By no stretch do you have to do any of these type of things to be frugal. There's a lot of other ways to be frugal as well. So some of these things might seem outrageous or just plain maybe dumb for you, but I hope maybe there's something in this list that can really help you, be a little bit more frugal to help save more money to reach other kind of goals, whether it's paying off more debt, investing, or saving for retirement, whatever the case may be. I really hope that this list can have something in here for you. And then also too, let me know in the comments down below if you decide to utilize any one or some of these tips, but also too, make sure that you leave a comment of something that you do that's frugal that maybe I didn't mention in this video to help other people. So if you're also in the comments, make sure you're reading what other people are saying. Learn from the community, because I think that's a great way to be able to continue to grow and learn, is by finding what other people are doing and maybe implementing them into your life as well. So I'll definitely be going in the comments and reading every single one of them. So make sure you leave some really good tips, and make sure you're reading other people's comments to continue to learn and find other ways to save more money. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this list. So the very first thing that is going to be on this list is actually paying attention to the car that I use. And what I mean by this is by two factors. One is gas. Now for me personally, I actually really pay attention to how I'm utilizing my gas. So if you look at that meter where it's like the rams per minute, I actually pay attention to try not to go over the 2 rams per or 2K rams per minute, because that actually is going to help me reduce the amount of gas that I'm using. So I don't hit the gas as hard as I can when the light turns green, and I make sure that I do not hit it as hard as I can, so that way it's going over that 2. Obviously sometimes depending on the level of the ground and a couple other factors, sometimes it'll go over, but doing it that way actually helps me save a ton of money on gas. And the other thing that I do when it comes to my car is actually really pay attention to when I'm hitting the brakes. So when possible, I actually try not to use the brakes, so I'll gradually come to a halt when I can, obviously if there's a stop sign or if there's a red light or getting off of the freeway. So utilizing this actually helps me.
This is a true frugal man.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
I've known about this tip, but I don't drive, so I've never implemented it myself. But yeah, when you hit the brakes or you hit the gas too hard, often it tends to, like, I forget the mechanics of it, but essentially it uses more gas in each process. Oftentimes, right? You may be using the gas pedal more because you're late for work, right? But this is a little hack. In order for you to never be late to work or anywhere you want to get to, always aim to be early. Let's say you have an event at 9 o'clock, aim to be there for 8:30. That means if all else fails, you will be there at 9 or 8:50 or 8:45. That's how you never get late to anywhere. Don't try and be on time. What is it saying? Is early is on time is late, and late, you can't have that. So always aim to be early to places, and then you end up on time at the latest, so that you can also avoid tapping the gas pedal so often and wasting gas money. Yeah.
Helps me not push down on the brakes, which then means the brake pads don't get pushed down as much, which actually helps me not have to buy those every so often. So doing it this way actually helps on a way to do it. But again, it's not everybody's choice when it comes to finding ways to save money, but I think it's a very effective one because it also saves you money in the long run on the wear and tear on your car. So next up is checking cost per unit price. Now I do this on everything that I buy, and you can ask my wife this as well too. She'll tell you all the time that I'm in the store breaking everything down by the cost of the unit or the ounces or whatever the case may be. So much to the point that I've actually even broken down the cost of Costco toilet paper in comparison to other stores and how much they sell their toilet paper for. And just a quick tip to save you some time, Costco toilet paper is some of the best value that you can get in toilet paper if you're not utilizing any type of coupons. Just a heads up, because I actually had a 20-minute plus conversation with my brother on the cost of toilet paper per unit, and that yes, Costco does have some of the best cost per unit when it comes to toilet paper. So next up, for some of the things that I do to be frugal is actually not getting ice with any drinks that I buy. Now this is a little bit more tedious as far as how it actually helps me save, but it obviously causes me not to need to get as much of a drink, because when I ask for no ice, that actually helps out reduce the amount of space that it's taking up in the cup.
That's how they scam you, bro. That's how they scam you. No ice. And then most of the drink is water.
The drink right there in your hand.
Right where? All I see is ice. And I said light ice.
At Starbucks, that is considered light ice. Actually, that's a little too light. You need some more ice, my bro?
No, I need more pink drink. This is less than a shot.
That actually looked like a lot in there.
I always drink water anyways myself, so I can keep my skin clear. Drink water, mind my business, all that good stuff. But that's how they scam you. No ice. The more ice they put into this thing, the less of the actual drink is in it. And as a result, you actually want more of the drink. Hence, you may end up buying more. Always ask for no ice. Always. You're trying to cut costs? You're trying to cut costs too.
In the cup, so that way I get more of the actual drink that I pay for. So I just don't like having to get a cup and then half of my drink is actually just ice. I don't want to pay for ice, so I make sure that I always ask for no ice, because usually the drink will come in cold, unless I know I'm going to be taking a long time. I might ask for a little bit, but overall, no ice helps me get more value out of what I'm buying. Kind of helps me be a little bit more frugal, because then I'm not as enticed to go as often to get those things. So next up is going to be utilizing appliances during off-peak hours. Now, a lot of utility companies will allow you to have on-peak and off-peak hours where you're going to save a lot more money during off-peak hours. So if you can wait to be able to utilize the washer, the dishwasher, the air conditioning, the stove, anything in that matter where it's going to take up a lot of electricity, if you can wait till the off-peak hours, you can actually save quite a bit of money. So definitely double check with your utilities company to see if they do have that option for you and what those times are, so you can utilize those and actually save a ton of money. So
I do believe, based on my own experience, off-peak hours are in the evenings and they're higher on weekends. Something like that. But if the utilities are included in your rent, then you don't really have to worry about it. But if you have your apartment, or I guess your mortgage too, and it's not included, the utilities aren't included in the rent, then definitely things to be mindful of. And my parents, immigrant parents are always tedious about this shit, bro. Like even the amount of water you use. Let me take you back to my life, okay? When you're brushing your teeth, we put the water in a cup, and then you actually rinse your mouth with the cup, right? And then when you're showering, you put the water in a bucket. Obviously, you clean yourself with the water, and then when you're ready to rinse, then you take the bucket and you take a little bowl, and then you put and then when you're washing your dishes, you don't do it one at a time. You wash a certain amount of dishes, you soak it up, put it down, and then you wash it together, dry it. And then the next set, wash it, soak it up, and then put it. That's how you save extra money on water, right? So again, when you're brushing your teeth, don't let the water run, obviously. And even more so, put the water in a little bowl, little container, rinse your mouth from that, and then fill it back up, rinse your mouth, fill it back up. And then also, when you're showering, rather than having the water come from the water head, put the water in a bucket, and then once you're finished soaping and body wash, all that stuff, get another container, put it, rinse yourself off. You save bare money, bare guap on the water bill. My life.
next up is actually utilizing small plates to have technically less food that we're utilizing from our meals, and then have more left over, so that way we can actually eat later down the road, so we don't have to cook as much food, and then actually also saves us a little bit of time, which is something that I love to do. And if you are a fan of this channel, you know the next one is actually me not buying name brand items. Now, I do this typically with the grocery store, but this can work with a lot of different things. As I mentioned, Costco toilet paper is technically not name brand, and that actually helps us save a lot of money. Still good quality. And one quick tip when it comes to buying off-brand products is a lot of them will have a satisfaction guarantee, so make sure you check the labels on the products to see if they have that option for you, so you can actually get your money back if you don't like the item. But we do it where we buy a lot of off-brand, and that helps us save a ton of money. So next up is a quick one, and this one is going to be laundry detergent. So I actually use less than what they recommend when it comes to laundry detergent based off of the size of the actual load. Clothes still come out clean, still smell fresh, and I utilize a lot less, which then means I don't have to buy the laundry detergent as much. So another frugal hack is actually buying refill bottles instead of always buying new bottles in general. And I talk about this as far as like glass cleaner, hand soap, a lot of the different things that you can buy in bulk when it comes to doing refills. And that actually helps a little bit with the environment because you're buying less of the like components and all this other.
Stop buying plastic bottles. Why are you buying plastic bottles? Buy a container, buy a hydro flask, refill it yourself at home. There's bare water fountains all around the place, and you save money, man. Straight up, no cap. No cap. And you have less plastic that you are putting into the environment. Animals will thank you. I will thank you. God will thank you. Mother Nature will thank you. And you'll thank yourself, because, you know, you won't be drinking plastic that will end up in your water system.
Little things. So in a way, it actually not only saves money, but it helps a little bit more when it comes to the environment. So the next thing I do that helps me be more frugal is actually only eating twice a day. Now, I do this for a couple different things. It's kind of like intermittent fasting, but I don't really do it intentionally for that. I do it because I actually don't like wasting so much time when it comes to eating, because eating costs a lot of time. Now, what I mean by this is not only do you have to decide what you want to eat, put the meal together or go buy it, actually eat it, and then the cleanup process afterwards. It takes up so much time. So for me, I actually love the fact that I not only save a little bit more money not eating as much, but I also save a lot more time. So I usually eat somewhere in the afternoon and then at night. So I don't really do breakfast stuff, and that helps me be a lot more frugal.
I myself, I don't eat until 6 p.m. Saves so much time on the energy. It takes a while to get to that point, obviously, but usually my hack to do that is I drink apple cider vinegar. Usually it suppresses my appetite, and anytime I feel hungry, I just drink water. I even did like a 5-day water fast. If you want to check it out, and the card's up here. But it's intermittent fasting, and 1 meal a day definitely saves you bare money.
I still get everything I need when it comes to food, but I do love the amount of time that I save. So next up is shopping around before I buy anything. Now, I typically buy a lot of my stuff from Amazon, so I utilize different types of tools that come with web browsers to help me make sure that I'm getting the best deal, but I do definitely still check other websites. And then a lot of times with Amazon, as a quick little tip, you can look into the other sellers options and actually find some better deals than what they have as far as the front page goes, so I can actually save a little bit more money. So if you are frequent on this channel, you do know that I actually only go to the grocery store once a week. This helps me out tremendously with not having to buy more things, which then technically when you go to the grocery store, you're more apt to actually buy more impulsive items. And this actually helps also too with some time and gas and your everything else in between as well too. So always consider that if you can go to the grocery store once a week, even every other week if possible, to help you kind of manage your funds and your actual time can be a very beneficial thing when it comes to being frugal. So as I mentioned, one of the things that my wife mentioned that I personally do that I didn't really notice that I do is actually always looking for different type of reward apps for different companies that we utilize. So if we're going to a fast food restaurant, I double check to see if there's an app, or if we go to a store, I'll check the app and see if maybe there's some type of reward program with them, whether it's like an actual coupon or something where, hey, after you buy 5 pizzas, you'll get the 6th one free. I'm always the one like on my phone ready to make sure that I either download the app, sign up for their newsletter, whatever the case, to be able to get something for free or at a discounted price. So that's definitely one great way to be able to be a little bit more frugal and save you some more money. So real quick before I mention the next item, as I mentioned earlier in the video, these are things that we do and that you don't necessarily have to, because I know it's not always going to bolt over well for a lot of people, but this one is one that I feel saves us a good amount of money, especially if we want to enjoy it more often, which is going out to eat. We'll actually split meals more often. So if we go to like Chick-fil-A, for example, we'll usually get like 2 hamburgers. Why did I say hamburgers? Chick-fil-A only sells chicken burgers. Is it chicken burgers? Chicken sandwiches. So when we go to Chick-fil-A, we buy 2 chicken sandwiches, usually 1 thing of fries, and then 1 thing of lemonade. And that actually saves us about 20 to 30% on the actual cost if we both got different meals. We still get full from our meals, and then we are actually still very satisfied. But if we do that enough, that actually helps us save a lot of money in the long run. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I love shopping on Amazon, and so maybe you might do this as well. And this is actually saving the boxes and envelopes that I get from Amazon. And I have a ton of them. I actually have a whole thing right behind this camera when it comes to the boxes. And I save these things for a couple different reasons. One, if I actually want to ship something out to a friend or family member, or just kind of have something to be able to store in, I have those boxes. But the other really big thing is if I want to sell something on Amazon or eBay or any other type of website, I have these boxes ready to go. A lot of them are like the smaller ones, and like I mentioned, the envelopes, but I do it that way so it helps me save money. And then kind of side tip, if you're moving, one of the best things you can do instead of buying boxes from like U-Haul or Home Depot is go to a lot of different types of retail stores and see if they have boxes that they're willing to give you. I used to work in retail, and I would actually have my own boxes that I would take with me from the store because we would just throw them away. And I would just give them those boxes if they talked about moving, because it would just kind of help recycle those things to be able to utilize, once more before they go into the trash. All right, so one of the weird ones that I do, and this is funny, is actually utilize every single product to the very last ounce. Now, this was something else that my wife mentioned that I do, just because I do this with toothpaste the most, where after the toothpaste looks like it's completely gone, my wife will start trying to go over to the next toothpaste that we have. But for me personally, I'll sit there and I'll squeeze every last piece that I can from that toothpaste, and then
And even those ones where you cut the toothpaste, you put your toothbrush, oh. Yo. Those ones where you cut the toothpaste in half, put your toothbrush in, and make sure you get all of it. Yo, I've been out here, man. I've been on my frugal tip from time. Shout out to my parents for instilling in me the importance of saving and not wasting. Yo, immigrant parents are just different, man. Because of the grind and the hustle to get here in the first place, I tip my hat off to my parents. And hopefully you guys learn some ideas, concepts you can implement into your own life, increase your personal finance, and save some money, save some guap. But yo, God bless, much love, peace, and joy. Namaste. Always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. And too much of any good thing is good for nothing. Alright, fam. Deuces.